In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make the easiest tiny handbag charm ever. These are just so cute, and I was first sort of introduced to this little mini bag charm when I traveled to the Philippines in 2019, and since then I've just seen them everywhere. So I thought I would do a quick little tutorial on how to make them because they are just so easy and you really don't need much at all. When it comes to the choice of leather, I would just use whatever scraps you have lying around. Just keep in mind, the stiffer the temper of the leather, the stiffer the bag will be, and the softer the leather, the softer the little bag will be. But they do look good in a variety of different leathers, so don't overthink it. The other thing that's totally optional here is that I've put this little swivel clip on the top. You don't need to do that. I've also made the little handle of this one pretty short, but you can make it as long as you want. So just get creative and sort of make it your own. Now, before you freak out, you don't need as much stuff as I've got here, but I have just got a few different options so that you can gather the supplies that are easiest for you. First and most important thing that you're going to need is your pattern, which you can download from our website. Then you're going to want your leather of choice. I've gone with this really beautiful red. It's got kind of like a mock lizard print on it, so I think that's going to be really nice. And then you're going to need a little bit of hardware. So I've got in front of me a packet of these little rivets, which come in two parts. You've got the long end and then you've got the short end, so you need one of each. Now, when you buy these, they usually come with a few little tools in the packet. So that packet came with these 3 little tools. This one here is used to punch a hole. So I'll show you an example. And then this little set is used to actually place the rivets in and whack them down. Now, the alternative to these tools, if you're making a lot of leather accessories, is to just get a leather hole punch, something like this. It's got lots of different sized holes, and I use these all the time, whether I'm putting holes in straps for shoes, for buckles or belts, or little eyelets like this, just so many different things. So if you've got a leather hole punch, you can just go ahead and use that. And if you have one of these, it's just a tool for putting in lots of different sized rivets, and it just makes the process really easy. If you buy these and they come with the tools, that's probably the easiest way to do it. But if you've already got this stuff, then that's nice to have as well. Now, I like to use a little sand brown for the closure of the bag, just because they're so easy to put in, but you can really put anything you like here. If you like to have those little like poppers or a magnet or something like that, you can switch that out as well. All right, so let's dive in and make our tiny handbag. So first thing I'm going to do here is position my pattern onto the leather, and then I'm going to go ahead and trace it out. And then we can go ahead and cut that out really nice and neatly. My rule is that whenever I'm doing something like this, I try and cut the pen line off so that I'm cutting just on the inside of the pen line. And what that should mean is that by the time you've finished cutting your piece, it shouldn't really have any pen line left on it. I always separate it too if I've got like a huge bit of leather like this. I just find it so much easier to be neat if you're just cutting a tiny piece instead. So once we've got that cut out, we can use our tool of choice to go ahead and punch out all the holes. And then this next bit couldn't be simpler. So I'm going to take 2 of these long rivets, and these come in lots of different sizes. So you just pick a size that you like the look of, and then the 2 little tops. And then we basically just want to fold this all in together. So you put the long side in one, and then you just kind of fold the inside up and then the outsides over, kind of like that. Once you've found the holes, you can take the little hat and sort of place that on the other side. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. You can also get little studs that just screw on as well. So if you wanted to do something like that, that's another little easy option too. So the aim of the game now is that we just kind of need to press these a bit more flat, either using this tool, which kind of sits underneath like that, and then you would sort of hammer the other side, or using this. Now, because of the shape of the bag, it's a little awkward. So I kind of need to like almost flip it inside out a little bit, just so that I can really get to the rivets. So just make sure it's nice and straight, and then give it a good squeeze. And then you can sort of flip it back open like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And actually, I'll show you the other side using this tool just so that you can see how both of them work. So that piece goes over the top, and then you just give it a whack with the hammer. So it's starting to resemble a bag, but we're not quite finished yet. We want to put our sand brown into the front. So we're going to take the screw off and put that through the back here. And then we'll just screw the top on there. And then I like to just use a little craft knife to just put a tiny little slit on top of that hole. And it just means that it can pop on and off easily now. So we're almost done with this. We just need to make a little handle that I'm going to attach on there. So in order to do that, I'm going to grab my leather back, and I'm just going to cut a little strip here. You can absolutely make this as long or as short or as thick or as thin as you want it to be. So my advice is don't overthink this piece. Sometimes I cut like a little rounded end to it. And by the way, if you wanted to do this in like a different color or something, you could totally do that as well. All right, and then I'm just going to punch 2 little holes right in the edges here. Now this next bit is so optional, but I like to do this. So I've got a little swivel clip here, and I just like to sort of feed onto that strap, and the reason for that is so that I can use this as a bit of a bag charm and just sort of hang it off something. All right, so the next bit's pretty easy. We're just gonna put a little one through there, put the top on. These are pretty much on the long side, I would say, these rivets. We'll just do the first one and the second one. One of the pros on having this machine rather than just the hammer tool is that you can get those rivets quite a lot flatter. Okay, and then there we have a little cute mini bag charm. Things you might want to keep in here are AirPods, lip gloss, your keys, anything. And you can just hang it off your bag, your belt, a Christmas tree, whatever you like.